My name is Jessica Knechel, and I'm currently working as an ambulatory care pharmacist at Kaiser Permanente in the Bay Area in Northern California. Well, I was interested in pharmacy because it's a unique blend of patient care in a way where you can have direct impact on patients and improve their lives by addressing their medication needs. And it's also never boring. So there's constantly new drugs coming on the market, new guidelines being released for different disease states. So it really challenges you to keep up to date with your practice. And also unique to pharmacy is the many different career paths that you can choose. So even if you choose to go into pharmacy to get into one career route, later on you could split and go into many different paths like ambulatory care like myself. You could go into industry, managed care. There's just a lot of different opportunities for those who are interested in this area. There's a lot of elements to enjoy about going to UCI. I think the campus itself was just beautiful, and the first thing that stood out to me as a prospective student, and then actually attending classes there, I really appreciated the unique opportunity to be a pharmaceutical sciences major. And I felt that being in that major gave me access to be around people who are passionate about the field and access to a lot of different mentors. And also another really important and valuable part of being a student there were all the organizations. So spending time on campus, even after class, to network with other like-minded individuals, be able to hear guest speakers who were in the pharmacy field, and being able to leverage that into networking was also extremely valuable. And I met a lot of people who I still keep in touch with today, years later, from my experience as a student at UCI. So I'd say one group of people or key mentors were the board members, the student board members at the Pre-Pharmacy Society at UCI. And I would say they were my key mentors because they were students like me, but who had taken on the role of being in leadership positions at UCI. So especially as a freshman, that was really inspiring to me. Talking to them about how they balanced the load of their student classes while being board members, some of them having jobs outside of class, and also the way that they reached out to faculty or pharmacists out in the field and who were practicing, and networked with them to have them speak to us during our organization events on campus. So that really helped to make me feel braver about approaching those who are already out in the field and not be as intimidated being a student in an undergraduate program and having the confidence to talk to people and network. Also, I'd say I didn't work directly with this person on a regular basis, but definitely a role model for me was Dr. Mehtab Jafari. Just knowing her story and having taken one of her classes and having her as a mentor, as a professor, I'd say she was an inspirational example of a woman in the field who is driven, intelligent, and not afraid to have big dreams and goals. And the inspiration started with just knowing that she was a foundational faculty member for the Pharmaceutical Sciences program. I felt like that helped me feel confident in trying to be a leader in my field, and I'm still on that path. In my job as a clinical pharmacist in ambulatory care, currently I manage patients with diabetes, hypertension, and hyperlipidemia. So a typical day will involve a schedule where I'm talking to many patients throughout the day, so I'll have appointments, and it'll usually be over the phone, especially with the COVID-19 scenario, but throughout the day I'll have these appointments, and then I'll also be triaging messages from patients, providers. I'll be getting calls from patients, returning voicemails, I'll be getting lab results, and then having to prioritize and manage all of this, addressing what's most urgent. And then during these appointments with my patients, I will collect necessary clinical information and then manage their treatments, therapies. So I can adjust medications, stop medications, start them, order labs, and I'll use a combination of Kaiser guidelines, since that's the institution where I work, in combination with nationally published guidelines in clinical judgment. And of course, during my interview with the patient, I'll need to take into consideration patient factors, preferences, their ability to pay for medications, et cetera, and try to come up with a good plan to manage their chronic disease states that works for them, and try to use joint decision-making when adjusting their therapies. I'd say something that I would recommend, since this really helped me, was looking at the curriculum that the program offers and just seeing if that's something that really interests you and grabs your attention. Because I know for me, when I was deciding what major to choose, the curriculum really stood out to me. So I really enjoyed the prospect of taking all the unique blends of biology classes, chemistry classes, pharmacology, and including the upper end labs. So getting a hands-on experience with these concepts that you're learning in class. So just taking a look at that and making sure it matches your goals. And then having a strong strategy for studying and having the motivation to set your own goals. That way you're putting yourself on a path to get where you want to be and at the end of this program. And then not being afraid to network and ask people. I think watching videos like this or reaching out to current students or faculty members, attending panels where you get to have question and answer sessions. I think that's all really important, just to get an idea of what strategies are best for your success in this program, and then knowing when to ask for help and who to go to for help, just familiarizing yourself with resources, because UCI does offer plenty of resources for students. And I know when I was on campus, I familiarized myself with all of that, and that really helped me on my journey too.